So when we talk about long-term athlete development, one thing that we need to think about is what game are we preparing the players to play? So my friend Harry Manninen from Finland, he talks about, if you're coaching a 8 or 9 year old, you can't be coaching to prepare a player to play the game that's being played right now at the professional level, but you have to anticipate where the game is moving, and so coach the player to prepare them, for the game, for what it's going to be like, 6, 7, 8, 9 years down the road when this player is kind of reaching their peak or starting to reach towards, adult or professional basketball. And again, I think that goes along with the long-term athlete development philosophy. If we're really going to say that we want to take a long-term approach, so we want to emphasize skill development at a young age over wins, and we want to get rid of the kind of peak by Friday mentality of only preparing for the next game and instead looking to the player's future. It's nice to say, but that has to also include, the anticipation of where the game is going. And so, if you're just treating your fifth graders and putting them in a flex offense and shooting a bunch of mid-range jump shots and playing with back to the basket post play, is that where the game's going to be 6 to 8 years from now when those players are reaching the varsity high school level, college level, and a professional level? The way the game's gone the last 10 years, if it continues on the same trajectory, that old-fashioned basketball isn't going to work anymore. All of your players are going to have to be able to shoot from distance, handle the ball, pass. That's the way the game is moving. We're moving, to the quote-unquote positionless basketball. And so part of that needs to start at a young age. And so just pigeonholing a player as a post player at a young age isn't going to work. There was a discussion on the internet about, why are these high school coaches letting the tall player dribble up the court? Why not? Why can't a tall player? Who decided that a short player has to dribble the ball and a tall player can't? If these young high school players, the game is moving towards, them needing to be able to dribble the ball, whether they're going to be the shortest player on the court or the tallest player on the court. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to have to possess all the skills in the game. And so why should we wait until they're in high school or college or the NBA to teach a player how to dribble or how to shoot a three-pointer or anything like that? Those skills should be developed at the youngest ages, and we shouldn't be thinking about, what position this player is playing and how can they fit this, archaic position role, that we decided upon randomly, 30 years ago. Instead, all players need to be able to play basketball. And that's the way the game is going. And if we're going to take a true long-term athlete development approach, when we're treating or we're coaching a 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old, we need to prepare them for a game 8, 9, 10 years down the road. So it's not just enough to say, well, we want to help them improve and develop skills and, winning's not important. But we have to go beyond that and say, okay, well, 9 years from now or 10 years from now, this is where I think the game is going to be. Potentially they're going to move, potentially the three-point line could be moved further back, so you have to increase distance of shooting even more. There's all kinds of potential rule changes that could happen in the next 10 years, and a lot of those would be hard to anticipate right now. But the more the players develop all of the skills within the rules now will help them if there are rule changes, in the future. And so I think that's how we have to look at it, and I think that's how we have to approach a long-term athlete development model, is really thinking about, well, that model suggests that we need to prepare players for the game that we don't even know what it's going to be like. We have to anticipate what's going to be in the future, and we have to develop players in accordance to that anticipation or that model where we think the game is going. And all the trends suggest that the model is going towards more outside shooting, more spacing of the court, every player being able to pass the ball, every player being able to dribble the ball, more lateral quickness, especially defensively out of all positions, being able to guard away from the basket, close to the basket. Essentially we need global players, we need players with the multitude of skills, and that starts at a very young age.